Coach, Oklahoma State's been pretty hot hitting the baseball. You guys talked about this the other day. What concerns you about their bats coming into this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, really, anybody in our league, any given week, somebody can get hot, swing the bat good. And, they've had a couple really good weekends. And I guess in Kansas is where they were a couple weeks ago. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
And then last weekend played really good against Texas. But I think you have, you respect the game, you respect your opponent going into each weekend, and you go do the best you can. You prepare the best you can. And, one thing is I think everybody in the league can hit a little bit. So, but they definitely, with Simpson sitting in the middle of the order, he's definitely a guy that's been around, had a lot of Big 12 at-bats. And, he's a guy that you definitely need to know where he is.
You mentioned the Kansas series. What's the most home runs the team you coach in the game? Hit 12 in one game, I think.
Yeah, I told you before. I had that one team in Grand Junction one year I think we just hit 8, but 8 different guys hit them, and we pinch hit for the nine-hole guy. And everybody got mad, and he was in and out of the order, and the next day hit one in about the 4th inning that was a lot bigger than we kind of got him out of there because in one of those events people were watching. We're like, let's get him out of there and maybe get him a fastball tomorrow, and he got one.
When you mentioned the bats in general, wanting to get going for you guys were so close on Tuesday, loading the bases, just couldn't quite bring too many of them in. Do you feel like the team is just they're really close to having those big innings in those games where they can really explode on the scoreboard?
Well, all you can do is get a good pitch to hit, and guys can go up there and separate balls and strikes and hit it hard. You can't control whether they catch it or not. And so, you feel like that's coming. It's easier said than done. I mean, for amateur hitters to go string quality at-bats together one after another is a challenge, and the less breakdowns you have, the better off you're going to be.
Do you feel a sense of urgency after losing that first one to Baylor to win the last two, that one, and then on Tuesday? Do you feel that around the team?
Oh, I think we felt it going into that last weekend. You'd like to think you have a sense of urgency each day, and I feel like our guys do. I mean, guys are ready to practice today and should be ready to go. And we hadn't had too many guys to take for granted the preparation part and understand that you need to prepare the right way. And then once the game starts, there's certain things you can control in a baseball game and other things you can't. And so just go play the best you can for 9 innings.
Coach Andrew in third, I guess, what did you like from him? What did you see from him?
The biggest thing was we needed to get him out there in game action. It was good to see. I thought he made a couple really nice plays, made a really nice play on the bunt. And, if it was just a matchup deal, you'd have probably played Parker the other night. But really didn't want to find out anything on a Big 12 weekend. And I just told some guys on the phone a minute ago that are coming in for the game on Saturday. And, if it's just about throwing, Drew Baker's, he goes and plays shortstop. It's just, Josh is just, the game's a little bit slower, heart rate's a little bit slower. He sees things that, maybe a young guy doesn't see, and excited about Drew being able to go compete over there because the defensive side of it keeps you on the field, and we've all seen him swing the bat at a pretty good clip.
With the team on this extended homestand, have you seen anything different from the team being comfortable not being out on the road, being able to focus on the preparation and routine like you said?
It's really funny you asked that is because, we'll have guys roll in and hit all times of the day. And I was actually flipping balls yesterday. I was thinking, I was looking at the clock to see how early it was. Well, it was Tuesday compared to game time. And it was a good 4 hours early, maybe 5. I was like, maybe we just need to make it optional for guys to go to the cage, 4 or 5 hours early. Not required, because if a guy doesn't want to be there, it's not going to do any good. And so your routines are usually a little bit better at home as far as what we're talking about there. Your routines in the weight room, kind of getting refueled. Your routines with sleep's probably a little better. Your routines with nutrition's a little better. the challenge is taking that on the road. I mean, I think you do a little bit of newspaper reading right now. The Rangers are going through that a little bit. They're talking about how they didn't swing the bat as good on the road the last few years as they do at home. And a lot of it just all that stuff kind of goes hand in hand, and just preparing for the game. And so, yeah, there's definitely a difference. I've been thinking about how to take it on the road, so just got to find a cage.
Our weekly rotation question.
Yeah, we're going to go Micah Dallas because he threw last Friday, Killian because he threw last Saturday, and then we're going to move Bonnet up to Sunday. Then we'll go Montgomery and Lanning, I'm sure, in the midweek against, I call it Pan Am, but UT, Rio Grande Valley.
Random question, are you guys done? I know you're an old school guy, but that flip stuff that went on in Major League Baseball last week with the guy that got suspended, and last night Reese Hoskins, like 42nd home run
Yeah.
shot.
I got a little bit of background with some of that. Jacob Rames, a kid I committed and had at Oklahoma, from my hometown. And I was watching that game last night. And I saw the highlights from the night before. I was like, man, it doesn't look like Jacob. And sure enough, I talked to a guy this morning. He goes, no, he didn't know where it was going 2 nights ago. He goes, he wasn't throwing at him. And then last night, Hoskins hits a home run. You know, he was at Sac State when they came in here in 15. And, you know, he hits a home run, and he takes his time going around the bases, which seemed fine to me based on where the pitches were the night before. And really thought it was not having all the information, that Jacob didn't know where it was going. Because the highlights last night, they were portraying it. They was throwing at him. And evidently he wasn't. And so I guess Hoskins just enjoyed the, you know, and so I thought he was very respectful based on how it was being portrayed on TV as far as that goes. As far as the Anderson kid goes, did he not flip the bat towards his own dugout? He flipped it back towards his dugout and said something towards his dugout, right? Not towards the other dugout. Wouldn't have a problem with that. As far as that deal goes at all. You know, it's a different day and age we live in, for sure. So I guess there's a scenario for, you know, there's a time and place for everything. But when to me, as long as you're dealing with your own team, is the most important thing. I mean, when you cross the line is when you're not sticking with your own team and you're causing the stuff that causes brawls and all that kind of stuff. Now, Major League Baseball is a different animal than they can monitor that stuff within them. The players can. I mean, they can manage it within the game, and they do. And so I didn't have a problem with the Anderson deal. Now, I guess if he flipped it towards the other dugout and yelled a bunch of stuff, sure, but looks like a really good player to me. I mean, he's playing pretty good. So, what's your opinion on it?
I originally had a problem with it, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
Let it go. It's like you said, as long as you're not
Yeah.
directing it towards somebody. If you're directing it towards somebody, I guess you got to be ready
Yeah.
next time you're up.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, did you ever see the clip about Mickey Mantle? Within the last couple of weeks, they said, hey, they say bat flips is a new deal, and there's about 6 swings of Mickey Mantle where he just flips his bat, he hits it and goes and flips it because he knew he got it.
Yeah.
He knew he got it. And so it's probably been happening longer than we all realize. It's just now it's on social media every time somebody does it. It's across the country immediately. So we want to respect the game and respect our opponent. So that's probably where it starts for me. And then what was the guy's name that did the real obnoxious one a few years ago? The Blue Jays guy?
Blue Jays.
That was really obnoxious to all of us because it's against the Rangers. Right? You're like, what are you doing? You know, if he did it against somebody else, you'd be like, wow, he hit that one. So they're all good hitters. I mean, And so, yeah, it's kind of interesting topic. I was telling my wife about Jacob Rame last night. He was there the semester I came up here. He was a freshman. He was on that staff with John Gray and Overton and Okert and Magnifico. He was 1992. He played catch with, I think, John Gray every day for the year. He transferred to Grayson County after a year. He touched 99 sophomore year. I'm really proud of the kid. I mean, for a kid to get told he couldn't pitch somewhere, he's in the big leagues. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Did
Pretty
he say
cool.
afterwards? You said something afterwards, basically, like that. He hit it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that part. He can pitch. I hadn't texted him yet, but it surprised me that he didn't have conviction of where the ball was going, because he's always had that. He's always been a guy. When he was 92, I sent him out at the first, like you say, you got 20 pitchers on your staff. We pitched him first every week in the fall. And it's because he had pitchability. And you wanted those other guys to go, wow, man, 90's getting them out. I better locate this 96. And so it's it's a neat story. He's a neat kid, boy. He's overcome a lot of things. So, bet you didn't know Hoskins was at Sac State, did you?
No.
He sat. That Wednesday night we played, he was hurt.
Yeah.
That was a one-run game,
I'm
if
glad
you
you told me
remember.
that, because I probably would have went and looked for the video, because I'm sure we had it.
Yeah, he wasn't in the game. And believe me, we were glad that he wasn't in it. Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it.